For today's video, I'm going to be doing a follow-up video on a mod that I did a video on quite a while back, and that is the PS2 Overhaul mod. The author of this mod is Petro Castley. Now, I've probably pronounced that wrong, but that's the mod author anyway. His name's on screen now. Now, since my last video on the mod, the author has actually gone to quite a lot of effort to fix the bugs, and even go to the effort to retexture some of the characters back to the PS2 forms. Because, in my last video that I did, it was far from complete. When you went around the jocks area, the textures were all messed up. There was pink textures, missing alpha textures, etc, etc. But, since then, the author's actually fixed all of them, which is actually quite respectable. Considering, unlike Grand Theft Auto, where you just, import texture, save, and put it in mod loader, with Bully, you'd have to, open up NIFscope, export, Photoshop, keep NIFscope open, block, add, delete, rebuild, etc. So, it's very time consuming what he's done, and I have to give him credit for that. Now, as you can see on screen now, this is Russell back in his PS2 form. Because, like I did mention, he has actually gone to the effort to retexture some of the characters as well. Now, like I did say as well, the author's actually retextured about, I think it's 67 characters, from what I believe from the RAR archive. So that's quite a lot of time and effort that's gone into this. And not to mention as well, he's done, I think it's about 7 of the main world files, if you know what I mean. Because in Bully, I think the world image shares I think it's about 5 or 6 textures that are basically every single texture on the exterior, if that makes sense. And he's actually gone to the effort to retexture all of that back to the PS2 form. So as we can see around here, all the trees have been fixed. There's no pink bugs or anything. I'm going to have to cut this part out because I wasn't expecting to be attacked. Right, so we're going to go and take a look down the jocks area now. Now, there's only one little bug I've noticed around the jocks area, and it's not really that noticeable, but as you can see there, the fences are actually green rather than black. But compared to the other video that I did on it, that's really minor, and to be honest, I didn't really notice it until I was doing, that mission for Mr. Galloway, where you have to take a picture of Mr. Hattrick giving the test answers to the preps. So as we can see here, he hasn't done the cheerleaders yet, but the rest of the jocks area seems to be complete. Aside from the fence, obviously. Some skin changes are more noticeable than others. This is most common on the greasers, because I find on the PS2 version the jackets seem to be a bit more washed out, but on the Scholarship Edition they appear to be more sort of solid, if that makes sense. I think I'm describing it wrong, but I hope you know what I mean. Because, for example, if you take a look at Ricky, well, if you can, that is. For example, if you take a look at Ricky, you can tell his jacket is a lot different compared to a Scholarship Edition model. Same sort of goes for Johnny here. In fact, if we go back to an earlier clip, where Johnny Vincent attacks me, I know somebody's going to say, how come he's got a different texture there compared to now? That's because, I'm using the mod where it spawns, all the click leaders, including their complete mayhem appearances, and the author hasn't done Johnny Vincent's complete mayhem appearance yet. So if we compare the two models there, we can definitely see a bit of a difference between the Scholarship Edition version and the original PS2 version. You can also see another major change in some of the preps as well, because their vests are much more washed out as well, and a lot more pixelated. And it's not just the school he's done either, he's actually done the entire map of Bulworth. So this isn't just your simple minor texture mod, he's actually gone to the effort to recreate most of Bulworth's world as well. Now we actually get onto the negative side of the mod. Because this is an overhaul, obviously we know there are going to be a load and load of files to replace. In total, there are just about under 80 files. Now, had this been GTA 5 or GTA San Andreas, we could just pop the files in OpenIV or mod loader and we're done. However, since Bully doesn't have anything like that, the only current known way is to open up Image Tool, open the world image, and then just manually find every single file, delete, and then add the modded file. Now, that is really time consuming, and I don't think anybody has that kind of time on their hands. Luckily, there's actually this really useful tool called Bully Image Console. Now what you need to do is create a file called skins, put all the files in there, all of them, then just hit install.bat and it'll install all of them for you, and it should take less than 3 minutes depending on your CPU. Now that is probably the fastest and best way to install this mod, because otherwise you're gonna be like doing that for a very long time and it won't be fun. That's probably my only gripe of the mod. And also, like, you know, as you could probably guess, this is not a fault of the mod author, but I know somebody's going to ask it anyway. But no, it doesn't replace the winter textures. It only replaces like the summer, autumn and spring textures. With that being said, if you really want to get the old PS2 feel of Buddy back, I highly recommend the mod, because it really does bring back the PS2 atmosphere to the PC. And also, like, I know some people are still going to say, why would you want this, you know, worse graphics and all that. Well, some people who have played on the PS2 or the Wii version, some believe actually like the PS2 and the Wii version has superior graphics to the PC and Xbox 360 versions. Now obviously that's down to you if you think the PS2 version looks better or if you think the PC version looks better. Now in my opinion, if you really do like the Buddy atmosphere, definitely install this mod. And definitely install it with the way I mentioned earlier. Don't bother going like into image tool, adding and replacing, because that's going to take God knows how many hours and it's going to be a complete waste of time. But yeah, like, you know, this isn't a bad mod. The author's gone to a lot of time and effort to do all of this. And he's even included some PS2 Jimmy Hopkins files as well, which I didn't showcase in this video because if you've seen my other videos, you know I'm sort of working on a beta Jimmy Hopkins themed mod. And I don't want like that to conflict. So that's it for this video and thank you for watching.